Hello everyone, it's me Evan. Welcome back. So today we are looking at the upgrade package for the MiG-23 UB. It is received, in short, 2 new infrared, well, quote-unquote infrared. They're sensor missiles, got proxy fuses and seekers, as well as a manual override. So basically in non-alt, your pitch and yaw input will be sent directly to the missile. And then from there we have improved flight controls. So you can see how when we spawn here, our tail is in the maximum elevated position. That is so that we have smooth holding pitch as well as combined input for roll. Now you can see out on our wing we've got these flaps on the top of the wing. This is much like what the real MiG-23 had to assist in rolling the aircraft. Let's just taxi over to the runway here. While we're at it, you can see the nose cone has been improved. The white on the underside of the aircraft has been made a lot more white looking, so there's that. There have been a lot of aerodynamic changes, and you will see some of the new features once we are set up here. Okay, so in the cockpit we've got a couple new things. Number one, all the dials are actually labeled, so you can see we've got Mach, 0 to 10, speed 0 to 1000, and altitude 0 to 1000. We've got a flaps extended light, and we've got automatic wing sweep and autopilot. Now I'll get to these once I'm in the air, but let's actually turn on automatic wing sweep right now, because if we flick that on, you can see our little wing sweep indicator goes off, and the wings have swept all the way out without me doing anything. So again, if I turn that off, I can just sweep them back manually, but if I turn that on, you can see they sweep all the way out. And this is useful for takeoff if you don't want to mess with that on takeoff. But also, we've got flaps, so if you hit X, it drops our flaps here, which gives you, well, just better extremely low speed stall characteristics, even though you don't really need that in brick rigs. But you can see that we have the flaps extended light has come on, and you'll notice that when I retract the wings, there's a certain point where the flaps are not extended, and that is because I've actually got some sensors that interrupt the signal to the flaps, so basically they will only deploy when the wings are swept out, like about that much, about halfway. Any more, and they would actually end up clipping into the side of the aircraft with the flaps, which is not good. Not good, and not very useful anyway. So, yep. All right. Let's get to taking off. We'll keep automatic wing sweep on. Everything's good. Now another thing you'll notice is that on the throttle there is a light. Now if we get going here, you can see that there's our max throttle. Let's take off. Pull in our flaps here. Or actually, well, let's leave the flaps out, and then let's pull in our gear. Now let's hit the afterburner, which is J. You can see on the throttle lever that little light came on. Yes, that's our. Oh, forgot to have automatic wing sweep on. So you can see with automatic wing sweep, they retract, and there we go. So we've got fairly decent roll control, as you can see from those combined input. Just overall, very good handling. Now, let's turn automatic wing sweep off and kick on the autopilot, because you can see at high speeds we begin to roll a little bit, which is a problem I've not been able to resolve, but you can just do that and it now holds you in your pitch and roll position. You actually still have a bit of pitch authority, but not much. Mostly just because it's directly taking over the elevators. You can see that because of the aerodynamic changes I've made, the elevators are actually pointed up, which means this entire thing is lift positive. So if I turn off the autopilot here, and we actually zero out the elevators, you can see we're actually turning. Because these wings generate so much lift, and I've managed to reduce enough drag to the point where you can just get like some really high speeds, much higher than it used to be. And you can see also that our it does actually work for roll as well. So there you go. As for other things that are new, there's not really much else that's new other than the flight. Mostly it's just the flight controls and the adding of flaps and the input combination. But overall, this thing is a much better aircraft to fly. And, you know, it was already pretty good, and now it's even better, so. Just pitch up a little bit. Oh, you can get some crazy turns in. Let's turn on automatic wing sweep, throttle down here, and go for a landing. I'm actually going to put the flaps out as well. So once we get slow enough, there we go. The wings go out, and there's the flaps. Put out gear, and we're on approach to the runway. And we're down.